Hi, hang on. Doing real good. I mean, it's pretty typical, isn't it? Sorry, I'm still kind of sick, but I've got to get this done on. I don't know where this is. Did it go? This is so stressful. There it goes. Okay. Okay. I think it's all live now. It's still a little bit of a kind of topsy-turvy when it's not going live again. Okay, hold on. This keeps happening. What am I doing wrong? Oh, wait. Okay, great. Okay, everybody's live. This is great. I'm sorry. I'm actually still sick. I'm better. I'm a lot better, but the virus that I haven't had in 5 years, and it's wearing me out. I'm so tired. It was just crazy. Hello, Tiffany. How are you? But I don't know what I'm doing wrong with this with this platform that I'm streaming from. I know there's been a lot of changes. There's been a lot of stuff going on with it, and there's been a bunch of updates. I get it, but god dang, at the same time, I need some assistance here, and I'm also trying to make sure that I can see there we go, that I can see comments, because I can't see comments from Facebook on this. I'm just yeah, it's good. So what I want to talk about, it should be sort of what's going on? Are you okay? I think Mouse is a little... You okay? He's a little clingy lately. But so I so I want to talk about I get a lot of people coming to me and saying that they feel like somebody's doing witchcraft on them. I don't negate it. However, when I am doing readings for somebody or I'm working with them, I usually start within them and we move out, right? Because even years ago, there was someone that said that witchcraft was being done on me. I can believe it, whatever. But the thing is that I didn't, I just didn't register it right away, because when weird stuff happens, I'll just be like, oh my gosh, is Mercury in retrograde, or is there some weird stuff happening astrologically? But I just start working on things from me and, going, okay, we have to go in this direction. We have to fix things, right? So when things go badly or stuff is looking really weird, I'm just what is it with me, right? I don't immediately look and say, oh my gosh, somebody's doing witchcraft on me. Now, that being said, I'm not telling these people that witchcraft isn't being done on them because I don't really know their circumstances, right? I don't know where, like, some of these, like, cultures, like, that maybe in their family or maybe it's friends of their family or whatever. I don't know what's happening there. So I try and I'm like, all right, well, let's come up with a spell, because this is something that you can do just to refresh, just to clear the slate, and just to be like, you know what, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. Let's just clear the slate, right? I do think that people will do like all kinds of, I mean, I know that I preached against this, but please do not go on Etsy. Please do not go on Instagram and buy some dumbass spell. Please don't do that. Don't do that shit. That is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life, is people selling spells on Etsy and on Instagram. And they're not cheap. It's ridiculous. And have you seen some of this stuff? It spells about getting getting somebody in a love spell. No, it's beauty spells against your enemies. Are you high right now? No, that's not accurate. Okay. We're not like throwing beauty spells out there, and I'm not like just going, god dang, super jealous of like Tiffany's sweet face, so I am going to put a beauty spell on her, because if she doesn't look sweet, if she doesn't look lovely, then I'm going to look better. Are we serious? Are we serious? However, there are people out there that buy this like piece of shit, okay? I hope none of us are in that group. Just saying. So what I've been doing today, I cannot believe how tired I am. I'm so sorry. And it has taken me days to try and come back from this. But again, I haven't had this virus. I'm not sure. I'm cussing on YouTube, but there are some words on YouTube that will get you, adiosed. So I have a virus that I haven't had in 5 years. I hope that helps you guys out. Okay. And it wasn't just me. My entire family had it. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. But the quarantine is not like it used to be. It used to be a couple of weeks. And now it's just like, oh, as long as you're fever free after 48 hours, you can return and do whatever. And I'm like, they're like, do you need a note for work? I was like, no, I work for myself. I have one employee, and she's kind of a pain in the ass. Yeah. So, and thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Tiffany, for no spells from Etsy. By the way, gotta tell you, I love the little fun things that you're putting on Instagram. I love that. And when I am on social media, I do check them out. So I like them. If you guys are interested, if you're just like joining in or watching this in the reruns, check out Down to Earth Metaphysics on Instagram. It's like some positive stuff. Hi, Suzanne. How are you? So today I got a list. Okay. I got a list, and I was like, you know what? If I'm going to practice these spell reversals, hey, Teresa, thank you so much. If I'm going to practice these spell reversals, I'm going to do it for a list of people, because I don't feel like I should be doing that stuff just for me. Yeah. So the lady that called me, I was like, let's do a spell reversal. Let's work on this, because next month we have eclipses. So we have the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse. Hold on. We have the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces on September 7th, and we have the second new moon in Virgo, and it is a new moon solar eclipse on the 21st of September. So we're essentially feeling those eclipses already, and let me tell you why. Because this Saturday, we have the new moon in Virgo. So it's the first new moon in Virgo. We're already essentially feeling that eclipse energy. I'm sorry, I'm just like sweating. I think like the Tylenol's kicked in. I just cannot shake this like low grade fever. It's ridiculous. It's just enough to be exhausting. You know what I mean? Just enough to be irritating. So, we have a new moon in Virgo this Saturday. We have the sun moving into Virgo this Friday. It's Virgo season. Who's the happiest girl in town? I know. Just so many Virgos in my family. Oh my gosh. It's just a lot. So anyway, I started it because I was like, let's go ahead and start this stuff. Now, to let you know, if you are wanting to break hexes, curses, uncross a spell, that's technically the term for it, or cancel, and these were all things that were coming to me while I was working on this stuff. If you want to cancel unintentional or negative contracts. Now, when I say unintentional contracts, I mean it's like something that you weren't meant to do in this lifetime, or that you weren't meant to do, period. But you accidentally became the world's biggest empath. And maybe you signed a contract to take care of my cat Mouse. I don't know. Mouse, what do you think about that? Maybe you unintentionally took on a contract to like take on like somebody else's guilt or somebody else's grief or something like that, and you didn't know how to remove it, but you just knew that like this was just heavy on you, and that person always feels good when they're around you because you're an empath and you're soaking it up, right? So all of that being said, that's like a kind of an unintentional contract, okay? We've all done it. We have. Maybe you moved in with someone, like, you know, you had a roommate that was more of a narcissist, or you had a roommate that had some issues that you took responsibility for, because we've all been there, right? Like trying to help people out of like abusive situations or financial situations or whatever, and we took that role on. We have. So it's fine. So that's an unintentional contract, okay? It's not something that you like came into this life saying, hey, you know, this is who I'm going to be. So any of those things, if you feel like someone is sending negative energy to you, if you feel like somebody is sending witchcraft to you, if you feel like there's curses or hexes or whatever, I'm not saying they're not. I'm saying what we need to do is clear the deck, okay? And it could take a few cycles of the moon, all right? So that's why we're going to start now, and we're going to go until that new moon solar eclipse, okay, in Virgo. Now, I don't manifest during eclipses because that's chaotic energy. It is. I don't even put my water out in the moon during the eclipses because that is chaos. And I mean, oh my gosh, seriously? I mean, does anybody need more chaos? I have like 1 million cats here and 3 dogs and 2 kids. I don't need any more chaos. Like, I'm good. I am full up. I mean, first week of school, these kids bring me home this crap. Seriously. So anyway, this is what we can do, all right? We can work on the spiritual side, all right? we can hit the spiritual angle hard. Go to the spiritual side first. If that's what you feel like, if you're feeling like, hey, I'm like gaining a lot of weight, or hey, I sure am spending a lot of money, I don't usually do this, or hey, I'm feeling a lot of guilt and this ain't my shit, you know. If you're feeling any of those and you feel like it's whatever is being sent to you, let's work on the spiritual side first. Now, we're not going to forget that we may still have some work to do, all right? We still may need to clean out that closet, go for a walk, eat healthier. I don't know. I mean, I got somebody that was like complaining about acne, and I suggested that she start changing her pillowcase every day, because I used to work with this esthetician, and that's what she told everybody to do, was change their pillowcase every day. And this was like 15 years ago. And I was like, why don't you do that? And she goes, is that what those people are talking about online? I didn't know people were talking about it online. I got to watch more of those beauty channels, because, you know, I just watch like a couple of gay guys that tell me how to do my makeup, and it's not even really great right now. So it's not their fault that like my makeup is not perfect. Anyway, I digress. But I mean, the thing is, I don't think that girl was getting a spell put on her because her face was breaking out. I'm not saying that she's not. That's my opinion. However, if she feels like there is a curse or a spell or a hex or a contract that she's unintentionally signed, you know, if she feels that way, my job is to help her with the spiritual side first. And then say, hey, and let's also do this. Let's also change our pillowcase every day. Let's see if that works. Let's see how that, you know, shakes out. Or, you know, don't go to bed with your hair wet and leaving conditioner on your head. Why don't you wear a bonnet to bed? Bonnet that baby up, you know? I'm just making suggestions. But the spiritual side is something that we can't ignore, because I've been harping on this for a few weeks, that we have to hit all of these things. We have to hit the spiritual, the emotional, the mental, and the physical. So when we're incorporating that with the spiritual side, what we can do is we can sit down, and if you are a religious person, I'm 100% behind you, because I think that it's so important to have faith. It's so important to have faith. Hey, Veronica. It's so important to have faith of any kind. I don't care if you believe in Christianity, if you're a Buddhist. The thing is, I just think that you need to have faith, because if you can have faith in the unknown, then you can have faith in yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? You can have faith in yourself, and you can have faith in your abilities. And this is stuff that you can do. Now, I've been sitting, I've created this stuff. So, okay. One of the things that I pulled together was some Buddhist chants. It was on YouTube, okay? So there are some, let me see if I can find them. Okay, I'm not in a place where I can share this. However, I went on YouTube. We do love YouTube here. And I found Buddhist chants. And it was specifically Buddhist chants for removing, here it is. Buddhist mantras for removing black magic. That was one of them. Black Tara mantra, which Black Tara is like one of the Buddhist goddesses. And I think I'm saying that right. I know a little bit about Buddhism. So that's like the way that Buddhist deals with that. And there's a lot of really great mantras, okay? Like the chants and the mantras, which I think are very powerful, okay? I think they're very powerful, and I also feel like that there's a lot of Christianity, there's a lot of things in Christianity that that uses a lot of chants. I mean, I've been to Catholic churches. I mean, okay, I'm not I'm not a super fan. However, there's a lot of really great Catholic people out there. I'm just not a fan of like some of the components of the religion, which it has to do a lot with history. I really liked this past Pope, the one that just passed. I bought his book. I mean, I was in. Because I was like, oh my gosh, maybe the Catholic Church is redeeming itself. Again, I read a lot of history, okay? So then there were some really great things in Psalms in the Bible. Now, okay, this is how much I like. I have the student Bible because there's a lot of information in this student Bible, like a lot of information. This is like a textbook, and I love that. So in Psalms, which is a fat chapter, if you're comparing to some of the other chapters in the Bible, to some of the other books in the Bible, holy crap, Psalms is fat. So there is a lot of really great Psalms that you can read. You can put it to music if you want to, which, by the way, people have done with Buddhist chants. And I love that. Tiffany is saying she loves a Buddhist chant. Love that. So this is that. I'm just going over things like that might be your particular cup of tea, your particular religion. I want to tell you how I did this, okay? Since I had a list, and I'm not going to hold up the list. Well, first of all, I burned the list of the piece of paper. But I did put a bunch of people's names on the list, and I'm going to be honest with you, it was mostly like my clients, and I was like, this is free will here. It was my clients, my friends. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. It's a lot of you here in the chat. I mean, honestly, I think every single one of you in the chat that has spoken up is on the list. But I burned the list. So, I mean, I have it on my little whiteboard, but I burned the list. What did you just knock down? Dude, seriously. You better be glad you're so cute. So anyway, I put just like, I just started like going to town, just like writing people's names down and just going, okay, here's where we're at. I am going to ask very directly, very clearly, with some emphasis behind it, some intention. I don't want to say demand. I'm trying to avoid that word, but that was the way I was asking, is I was just saying, hey, if this is what's going on with these people, it's time to cut this shit out. Let's stop that. Because and it just so happened to be all women. Just so happened. Okay, that's a lie. I put some spouses in there, and there are two men, but it was mostly women, okay? And I did say, all of these people have been through it. And I kept saying women, but I kept having to go back and redo that. So I did keep saying women, we've been strong enough. This is done. If this is coming to us for any of these reasons, we're breaking the hex, we're breaking the curse, we're uncrossing the spell, canceling any unintentional or negative contracts that have like a negative effect on us, our feelings, our looks, our finances, our relationships, whatever it is, we're taking that out. It's done. The payment has been made. Now, I was trying to be a little bit nice. One client did tell me, because I would talk to several people today. One client did tell me, she was like, you know what? Because I said, I'm not sending this back out though. I'm not sending it back out to the person of origin, or because maybe they unintentionally did it, but maybe this jackass went on Etsy and pulled this spell. I don't know, but I'm not sending it back to them because karma's going to come for them. You don't get out of this life without paying a debt. You don't. I will tell you 100%, you don't. I mean, I've had to pay for all the bullshit that I did in my teens and 20s. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But that's okay. I knew when I was like dealing with stuff, I was like, I know why I'm dealing with this. I get it. I get it. And I just like took my licks and I said, I'm sorry. And I tried to just keep going. And that's what happened. I paid that debt. I paid it. Everyone has to do that. Nobody gets out of this lifetime without that. I don't care who you are. The richest man in the world, the president. Okay. Whatever it is, we don't get out without paying. We don't. Now, it may not be obvious to other people. It may not be obvious to me that Jeff Bezos is having to pay for being a whatever. It may not be obvious to me, but that's none of my business. It's none of my business. So I just have to keep living my life. So I'm not sending it back to the person or persons of origin. That's what I'm telling you. If you know the origin, then just let it go. Forgive them. Or send them peace. Send them peace back, which is actually what I did today. I sent back peace. I was like, take all of this negativity, take all of this off of all these people, transmute it, and send it back out into the world as peace for those that need it, and the person or persons who originated this. Now, this was my choice. This was my choice. You don't have to do any of this, and you don't even have to do it the way I'm telling you. I'm just giving you some examples because we need to reset spiritually so that we can come forward and do something different with our lives, so that we can walk stronger on our path, so that maybe like we feel like the beauty spell has been lifted and we can like, I don't know, like start doing a different face wash, or change our pillowcase every day, or, whatever is going on. We can change it. We can. This is us taking control of our lives and resetting. Fresh start. So I chose to do the prayer. I sort of chose an affirmation. I chose to clear and cleanse, and I chose to renew at the same time. Part of what I did was I used sage. I used a whole litany of stuff in here, actually. I used creosote, sage, thyme. Thyme is so wonderful. In fact, I wrote all of this down. Thyme is confidence, bravery. It eases grief. It releases the past. It clears emotional negativity. It balances. It brings in prosperity. We love that. And there's another one, hello Kelsey, that is on my list because I really wanted to just do a clearing. So I don't know if you guys are feeling this. I don't know. But I'm not trying to affect your free will. I'm just trying to clear and cleanse everybody. So I also added some rose petals in this for love. I put, oh my gosh, black salt. I put some of my black salt in here. Where is it? Oh, yeah. So I put some of my black salt in it. Then I put some of my rose petals in it. My rose petals that I've dried and like crushed up. Rosemary. I was like, I knew there was something else. I'm going to use some rosemary. I mean, we can't leave that out. Mugwort, very important. I was just wanting to purify, just clear and cleanse. You can do that with just basics. You can do that with just salt. You can do it with white sage. If you are using sage, please put something else with it just to replace that energy, like lavender. Lavender's easy. Rosemary's easy. Thyme. Thyme is wonderful, as I just said. Cedar. I mean, all of those things that are easy to get. Thyme and rosemary, you can get that at Walmart, Target, Trader Joe's, if there's one near you. You know, you can get all of that at those places. Okay? Doesn't have to be crazy fancy. It doesn't. So I stated very clearly, very directly, with intention. We'll say I asked. I used prayers. I used affirmation. I was trying to do the Buddhist chant. I'm not really talented with that. And there's Mercury. You know, she's got to come and check everything out. God love her. And of course, I lit a white candle. So she's melting down nice. Doing real good. You can use whatever it is that you want. You can use crystals, but your intention, as I have said 8 million times, magic is your intention. Magic is 85% your intention. Prayers, affirmations, chants, put your intention behind it. So this is the fresh start that I'm talking about. This is like clearing the slate and making a fresh start. This is not something that I'm going to do one time. I'm going to do this multiple times this week before that new moon on Saturday. Then I'm going to pick it up again. I'm going to give it just a minute. I'm just saying. Then I'm going to pick it up again right after the new moon, and I'm going to work on it. And I do not like manifesting during eclipse season, because it is chaotic when you try and manifest during those. But releasing during eclipse season, and that's what this is. Make no mistake, what I was writing down here of breaking hexes, curses, uncrossing spells, canceling contracts, that is releasing. It is. So what we're doing is okay to do during eclipse season. And, you know, Virgo, I'm not tidy right now. In fact, my entire life is just a mess. I can't really blame that on a spell. It's just a mess. So again, 1 million cats, 3 dogs, 2 kids. No air purifier in the world is big enough to like take all of that out. Yeah. So that's where we are. But it's a bit of chaos, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So I'm doing a lot of things. As soon as I get like fully better again, and as soon as this headache goes away and I have my energy back, and it's coming back a little bit every day, it is coming back more and more. But, you know, it just takes some time. It's just been a minute since I've been like this sick. So I did get some new eyelashes in the mail. I'm very happy about that. My friend Lance is always asking me about my eyelashes. So I've been ordering these eyelashes for a little while now, and I love them. I do. I mean, they're I'm digging them. So that's a good thing. That was like a happy moment, getting my eyelashes in the mail. I was like, yeah, baby. Yeah. That is freaking awesome. It's absolutely just, that's a happy moment. It is. So I encourage you to get out there, set like some boundaries. That's protection, by the way. Setting up boundaries and saying, this is not allowed in my life. So that way, anytime somebody is, like, if they do have ill intentions towards you, if they are trying to do something destructive for your life, it won't hit you because you've set up boundaries that you're like, not today, baby. It's not happening. It's not coming in. You set those boundaries up. Spirit will honor that. Spirit will honor that. If it makes you feel better to do like some kind of spell work like this once a month, go to it. Don't leave out the other things. You've done the spiritual work. Now make sure that you're doing the physical work. Make sure that you're going for a walk or eating better or cleaning out your closet or I don't know, taking care of your hair or whatever it is that you're questioning about. Balance your checkbook. Okay, I don't think people use checkbooks anymore, but balance your bank account. You know, watch your spending. Because the next thing I do want to talk about is we did a bingo card in July. So I want to talk about having a month where we don't spend except on like essentials. So I've been watching all these people online and they have like a couple of times a year or maybe more than once a year, they'll have like a no spend month. And a no spend month means that they're only buying food, fuel, paying bills. They're not like buying anything that's unnecessary. They're not buying any extras. Now, this one lady that I watched, she did say that she had to make exceptions for like birthdays, you know, things like that. But the whole point that they were like doing this as a family is that they were saving for some big things. So they were going on a big vacation. I think they were going to Disney World. And do y'all know how much that is a day? Oh my gosh. So they were going to Disney World or, you know, and then they were like saving for Christmas and they were doing these things. That's impressive. That's impressive. Having a no spend month. So she said it was easier when people did it together. And I was like, you know what? That bingo card, I felt like that was easier because I knew some of y'all are doing it with me. So that might be something that we could do in preparation for Christmas, you know, or in preparation for another big event that you may have coming up. Maybe you're going on a cruise or something. I don't know where that came from. I'm just throwing that out there. But I think that would be a good thing. So that is also something that you can do in the physical if you feel like you're breaking a curse or a hex or a spell that has to do with your finances. You know, now you can just be like, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a no spend month. Or I'm going to have a yard sale month. Somebody else was doing that. They were like, every Saturday in this month, I'm having a yard sale, weather permitting, and I'm just getting rid of everything. I love that. I love it. So, and that's also helping you to save money, right? If you're selling stuff. So this is where I'm at with this. The fresh start, the clean slate, break whatever it is that you think that's going on with you spiritually. Break it, uncross it, cancel it out. We're doing that. We're going to do the spiritual part first, and then we're going to move forward. If it's something emotional, then maybe we need to like speak to a therapist. Maybe we need to speak to a counselor. Maybe we need to work on something like mentally instead of saying, I'm not disciplined enough. That's where I went back to a few weeks ago when I said it's not necessarily about discipline and determination. It is about self-respect, self-love, and just saying, I am worth this. Self-worth is a big deal. When you know that you're worth having a clean house or a car that's well maintained, then you take care of those things, right? I mean, it's okay if you fall down and you're like, I just did not feel like doing that laundry last night. It was more important for me to sleep. 100%. We've all been there, right? But the thing is, having, and I've done this before too, just to let you know, having all your laundry on your couch when you're living out of the laundry on the couch, that's not really, is that self-respect? I don't know. I mean, it wasn't for me. I felt like crap the whole time that was going on. I was like, oh my gosh, this is real. This is where I'm at. No. So I just had to put a hold on everything and be like, all right, I want to watch this football game. I'm going to get the laundry done and put away while I'm watching the football game. Fun things like that. So that was, again, the discipline, the determination is easier to do and easier to have when you do have self-respect, self-love, and you know your self-worth. So just saying, that's how we can address the mental, the emotional, the physical, and we're addressing the spiritual with breaking all of this stuff down. I like to do my work outside, so I did step outside today and in between the rain showers, by the way. That was fun. I did step outside and I made my declaration. That's a better way to say that than a demand, isn't it? Declaration. And just being outside and just saying, hey, this is what we're doing for all of these people on this list. Break hexes, break curses. We're uncrossing this spell. We're canceling any negative contracts. We're canceling any unintentional contracts that we've gotten into with whomever, friends, family, somebody you met in line at Target. I don't know. But you can do this very easily. Look up some of these chants, these Buddhist chants on YouTube. If you know of any, Tiffany, let me know or drop them in the chat, because I just went through and I just sort of pulled a couple, because I do like that Black Tara chant. That Black Tara is one of the Buddhist goddesses. Sorry. I'm misgendering her. But I thought that was a really neat chant. I liked it. That was me. But I really think that you should do what you feel comfortable with. And again, I'm not hammering down on Catholicism. Again, historically, not my favorite. But I really did like this last Pope that we just had, that passed away. And I'm really excited about this new Pope. I'm wanting to see where he goes, very interested in that. But you do what's right for you. There's fantastic prayers and chants in Psalms, which I actually got from one of my clients that's a minister, because she was telling me about it. And I was like, whoa, where is that? And so, then I had to pull out my student Bible, my textbook. And I was looking at and I was talking about what a fat chapter it is. And then I started really looking at some of those Psalms and I was like, I don't know them that well. I should probably know them better. But they're really interesting. Really, really interesting and very helpful, by the way. So I liked all of those things. I wrote some affirmations for myself, but you do have to say it very clearly, very directly, and very much with intention of this being done. And if this is the way that you want to go, like I said, burn whatever you want, sage. But if you're burning sage, you need to include something with it to replace that energy that you're clearing out. So anything, lavender, thyme, rosemary, all those things are great, or just one of them is fine. Black salt also works. Fantastic. Taking a bath in salt, a purifying bath. That's really great. You know, I love me some pink Himalayan salt. I love to take a bath in kosher salt as well. And if I can't take a bath, if I've only have time for a shower, then I usually use Dr. Teal's body wash because it has Epsom salts in it. But I also will just add salt to some of my stuff. I know. It's not bad to loofah your body with salt because it is a great exfoliator, just letting you know. So all of that being said, you cannot neglect one of the four things. You can't neglect any of the spiritual, mental, emotional, or physical. You can't neglect any of them. They all have to be assessed and addressed in different ways. So, with all of that coming out, does anybody have any questions? I just want to let you know, again, I just Googled the Buddhist chants on YouTube. Well, I didn't Google it. I went to YouTube and I searched for it. So the Buddhist chants were fantastic because I don't know how to pronounce them very well. So it was nice to have someone chanting and like pronouncing them properly. That was great. Like I said, I had another client that pointed me in the direction of Psalms, which I was like so grateful for, because I believe in all religions. You don't have to I believe in all of them. So I don't want you to feel like, I'm downing one or the other, or I'm not. I just want everyone to have faith. So, because if you, again, are willing to have faith in something that you cannot touch and see, then you can have faith in yourself. Someone that you see in the mirror every day. Right? And I think that's an important component too. Okay. Tiffany has this on here. Okay, for those of you that are on, hey Gretchen, for those of you that are on Facebook, I can't see you guys anymore on the same thing. So for those of you that are on Facebook, Tiffany has put a chant on YouTube. It's removes all negative blocks, and I love that. I really do. There are some really great chanting Buddhist chants on there. But I'm telling you, if you feel like any of these things are hitting you, if you feel like you are just, every time you turn around, you don't have enough money, if every time you turn around, you feel like you're gaining weight for no reason, and maybe you're not in menopause and it's not just hitting you like it is me, it's just, that sucks. That's a curse in itself. I mean, menopause, really? That's why the word men is in it. I'm sorry, fellas, if you're watching, but menopause is just a bitch from hell is what it is. I digress again. So, if you feel like you're gaining weight for no reason, if you feel like something is hitting you in like your relationships, whatever it is that you feel like is being targeted in your life, I am not discounting that. I may not see it, but I'm not in your life. I work with people. When people call me and tell me that they feel like, they're being hit with witchcraft or they're being hit with spells, I don't negate it. We start working with them from the inside out, because I can't do anything about people that out there doing these dumbass spells. I can't do anything about these morons that are out there buying spells on Etsy and Instagram. I do not have that kind of following that I can get out there and tell people, stop doing that. I don't have it. I mean, I got 1,200 subscribers on YouTube. So I'm not going to be out there and be able to reach people, in a bigger sense. But please don't do that. Don't buy those. But if you feel like people are targeting you, I'm not saying they're not. This is how we can combat it. And if you do feel like people are targeting you, then you need to do something about it. Whether they're doing it or not, we need to work on that. So we hit the spiritual side first. We're going to clean house on the spiritual side, and then we're all going to move forward, right? We're all going to move forward in a better mental, emotional, and physical space. Whatever that may be. Whatever that may be. If it means cleaning out your closet, if it means maybe you do clean out your house so that you don't feel like you're a hoarder. Maybe you do get out there and exercise. Maybe you join a gym so that you feel like you're doing something healthy. Or you start eating more, wild caught Alaskan salmon. Sorry, I'm thinking about that because my brother sent us some salmon from Alaska where he is currently. So, just saying. So, all of those things are good moves. Maybe you start seeing a therapist. Who knows? Who knows? What works best for you? But we're not going to leave out any of the 4 main components, right? We're not going to leave out the spiritual, the emotional, the mental, or the physical. We're going to hit all of them. Just a little reminder. Okay, you guys, I am seriously wiped out. Oh my gosh. This super fun virus that apparently is just like new strains of it. It's unpleasant. I can't believe that my kids bounce back so much quicker than I have. Or Dr. Seuss. I mean, oh my gosh, we're just like, we're walking around like zombies. But the doctors are just like, oh no, 48 hours after you're fever-free with no, fever-reducing medication, you're fine, you're good. And I'm like, you're sure? Because I feel like shit. You're sure? I mean, all right. So it's just where we are. Thank you, love. Thank you. I'm telling you, but I have and I think getting back up and moving around and taking my vitamins again, I've started taking my vitamin D, and I went for a walk today. It was a half-ass walk, but I went, and I was like, okay, wow, I am just exhausted. But again, every day I feel a little bit better. But dude, I mean, those kids are just bouncing around again, and I'm like, So it's all okay. I mean, what are you going to do? I tell you, the first week of school, and these kids are passing around a virus, really? Really? So, anyway. I do feel good, though. I feel a lot better. And, I mean, again, I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm not. I don't sell doTERRA. But those throat lozenges, holy crap. I mean, I still have my voice. That was wonderful. That was really good. So, thank you so much for joining me tonight, you guys. I just appreciate that. And I'm not kidding. I would say every single person that has popped up in the chat today, you guys were on the list. So, I just thought if I was going to be doing some, breaking, uncrossing, and canceling of hexes, curses, spells, and negative or unintentional contracts. I just thought I'd include everybody. I basically went down the list. And if I've talked to you, like if you've been in the chat the last few weeks, or if I've talked to you in the last couple of months, you were probably on the list. There was a long list. I mean, I'm not going to show you the names because it's pretty intense. But this, my little whiteboard, was full. It is full. So, I mean, there was just lots of people on here, and I rewrote their names on the piece of paper that is currently ashes in this. And yes, I lit all of this on fire, so it's burned. But I burned it all. I'm probably going to burn it again because it really smells good. Burning it again. So, you know, if y'all feel elevated in the next little bit, which I hope you do, I'm going to continue this. I'm going to keep adding people to the list. I mean, it's just a little insurance, you know, just a little positivity. And it's getting us into eclipse season, so I like that. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope y'all have a great, great week. We are helping my aunt move, so I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to be here next Tuesday, but I will try to let y'all know ahead of time. And I really want y'all to think about the no buy month that I was just talking about, because this could help us all get just sort of situated financially before the holidays come around. It's just a thought. And we can go through it and talk about what that means, what no buy month means. So, and there's a ton of people on YouTube doing it. So, you know, go check in with them as well. And we'll do it all together, just like we did with the bingo card in July. All right, you guys, I hope y'all have a fantastic night. And until we see each other again, get out there and make your magic. Bye, you guys.